Hey guys, 21 Maxwell here. Happy Wrestlemania Day. The big event is obviously later this evening. Certainly not later this evening at the time of recording, but as this video goes live, we've hopefully had a good NXT takeover last night. And we're hopefully going to have a really good WrestleMania tonight card, as it is just now. It was looking pretty good. Charlotte against Asuka. Balor, Miz, Rollins. Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle against Triple H and Stephanie. AJ versus Shinsuke Nakamura, just to name a couple. Hopefully, we've obviously had a lot more matches added, some marquee ones, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed tonight's show. But today we're all about the females of the WWE, the women of the WWE Mae Young Classic. This will be our third Mae Young Classic, I want to say. But yeah, we've got 8 of the top female athletes in the company competing to see who is going to be the number one. Should the champion, Paige, not win, then the winner will receive a championship match at Survivor Series. So let's jump straight into the show. We've got 19 segments as always. We've got the tournament format, and then of course we've got a couple of just 10-man tags just to make sure the pop is at a successful level where we don't lose anything. So let's kick on. This is on the network. This is the WWE Mae Young Classic for 2020. So we start off with the competitors on the show, as we're in the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 49,048 fans in attendance. And the women competing will be Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley, 4 horsewomen. We're also going to have Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, Kellyanne English, and Paige. They're all hyping their case to become the champion of the the Mae Young Classic, and it is a B+A7, with more charisma being shown by Charlotte and Bayley, and Sasha Banks improving her acting skills. So starting off with the first round match, and it sees a decent matchup. It sees Sasha Banks defeat Bayley in 12:25 by submission with a bank statement. B81, good way to start the show. The match got the crowd hotter. Bayley with a better performance than Sasha, but overall a good match, with the only negative being Sasha's poor gimmick. Leads us into a promo, Paige saying, she was basically the pioneer of this whole revolution that's taking place in women's wrestling. She is the current women's champion, and she's going to defeat Dana Brooke to prove that she doesn't, she's going to add this accolade to it as well. So B+88 advances the storyline and gains heat in the women's division. Matchup itself was a superb wrestling match with good heat, and Dana Brooke picked up the win over Paige in 14:57 with a Samoan driver. An excellent B+89. Probably could main event this if I'm being honest. But Dana Brooke and Paige had great chemistry, and that showed in her performance. There was unfortunately that lack of psychology, which is a bit of a worry in the women's division, but it is what it is. But a 97 for Dana, a 90 for Paige. Storyline has gained some heat, and yeah, just a few negatives. The lack of hot associated storyline, which will gain some heat, and the lack of psychology. This possibly could have been an A-rated match quite easily. But next up, we've got just a showcase match. It was a 10-woman tag, and about that had some decent wrestling, but didn't have a lot of heat. It was the tag team champions, Candice LeRae and Toni Storm, the talented Rhea Ripley, Ali Flair, and Mia Yim, who defeated the debuting Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Nia Jax in 7:55 when Toni Storm defeated Nia Jax by pinfall. This was a B-73 matchup. Alexa Bliss off her game. Kairi Sane has come up from developmental. I was going to get her some overness on the development show, but I felt just bring her up. For some reason, she's a heel at the start of this, so I need to debut her as a heel, and then eventually we'll turn her babyface and go with the pirate gimmick. But she's the weakest showing here with 36. Impressive, I would say definitely Mia Yim with the 77. It must be in a region where she's popular. Toni Storm was good as well. Nia's leaving eventually, so I just felt most sense to let her eat the pinfall in our storytelling match of the evening. Next up, an old rivalry is renewed, and it sees a great wrestling match with good heat. As Charlotte books her place into the semi-finals with a win over Kellyanne English in 14:45 by pinfall, a B-77 there. So I'm pretty happy with that. The lack of hot associated storyline, of course, made sure that wasn't higher than it should have been. But it's amazing how these matches are getting higher ratings, you see, because of how the women have developed, how the skill sets have got better, and how we've integrated them into effectively the men's division so that they can have pushes. Next up was just a tag team showcase. About that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Saw the Young Bucks defeat the Exiles, Bad Influence and the Revival in 12:35. The Exiles went first with a pinfall on CJ Robinson, followed by the Revival, and then Bad Influence. Great performances, I would certainly say, from Kazarian, from Christopher Daniels, Dash Wilder, and Matt Jackson as well. But B80, as we certainly look to do something with the Bucks going forward. Continuing on the first round, it was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, which saw Becky Lynch defeat Nikki Cross in 10:02 by submission via the disarmer. B80, Becky win 84 to Nikki's 73. Short matchup, meaning our semi-finalists are going to be Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Dana Brooke. Pick your four from that. Pick your winner from that four, I should say. Next up, we've got a stare down between Charlotte and Sasha. They've obviously been through so much through NXT and on the main roster. So a B plus 87 as Charlotte looked good in this and Sasha underperformed. And that match was a good matchup that saw Sasha pick up the win in 2042 by pinfall with the Wheelbarrow Bulldog following a distraction from Shayna Baszler. So B78, Charlotte getting better at her gimmick with a 92 performance as well. Sasha with a 69, and I think it was just the distraction of Shayna helps the win. As I say, unfortunately Ronda Rousey's kind of went and decided to do MMA training and has also turned up to this show completely wasted on drugs. So we had to suspend any ideas we were going to use with Ronda to send her to rehab. So Shayna will come in, distract Charlotte, and then pretty much get ass handed to her on various episodes of the Women's Revolution. But Sasha picks up the win. Match was probably deducted a few points through booking decisions because obviously the main event star has lost an upper mid-carder, and I would say also because we had to keep Charlotte looking as strong as possible. Dana Brooke then hypes a promo up against Becky. A92, Dana's always been solid in the mic in this save, just saying, she's going to prove why she is the most dominant women's wrestler of all time. Mental saying that, considering her skill set in real life, but in this game, as you know, she's just developed so well. And that matchup was a superb wrestling match, good heat, and Becky defeats Dana Brooke in 14:53 by submission, a B76, so a bit of an upset there. An 86 for Becky and 92 for Dana. The storyline advanced but lost a bit of heat. The reason for that is we had to keep Dana looking strong to let her job, or she basically wouldn't job to anyone. But I feel like if you had a Dana Brooke over Becky Lynch matchup, you could be looking at a high A, possibly, with that kind of rating. So final will be will be Becky Lynch against Sasha Banks. So Sasha hypes up the match and it only gets a C plus 71. So she's determined that she's going to overcome everything and finally become, where her potential should have been. And the match itself was a great wrestling match with good heat, and it did see Sasha Banks finally overcome all those negatives she's had in her career. The injury she had last year, which meant she was just basically losing all the time. But she wins in 23-24 by submission after blatantly cheating. So she wins the Mae Young Classic, given a B82 rating, a 93 rating for Becky, so she's obviously got a lot of overness from this, and so is Sasha at 79 over, so we'll certainly check that. If this storyline had a bit more heat to it, then I feel like that could have been an A match, but as I say, we wanted to use this to really push Sasha, so there was going to be a few matches that didn't quite get the ratings that should have justified it, which is why we've got the two male 10-mans ending the show. So Sasha celebrates to a B plus 88, so great acclaim for Sasha Banks. That's why I like doing these tournaments as well, because it always builds a star out it. So effectively the Cruiserweight one built Chad Gable like that. This one will hopefully build Sasha Banks. Promo from Velveteen Dream just documenting his feud with Baron Corbin. They'll have a rematch at Survivor Series for the Intercontinental Championship. Just a disappointing B83, that's really, really poor. It was about that had superb wrestling and great heat, and it was Andrade Cien Almas who picked up the win over Randy Orton. His team was him, Baron Corbin, the Usos and Dean Ambrose, defeating Velveteen Dream, so I say Velveteen Sky there, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, KO, and Sami Zayn. So look at the performances in there, but you've got a couple of 90s. Sami win 88, probably the weakest in his team. Cien Almas win 82 in his team. So we're trying to build him up. Disappointingly, 3 storylines do lose heat, but we can build them up on Raw and SmackDown to make sure they're in a position for Survivor Series in a few weeks' time. Fergal Devitt promo then for the main event, just saying he wants his championship back. You know, he's only got one of them. He wants to be Universal and WWE Champion, as well as this kind of conundrum of what is really happening with these title belts. And their match at least helps out in a little bit about they had superb wrestling and great heat, and the team of Roman Reigns, Bo Dallas, Chad Gable, and the Golden Lovers defeat Fergal Devitt, Kofi Kingston, Tommaso Ciampa, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt in 27:07 when Bo Dallas defeats Fergal Devitt with a fast roll-up. So disappointingly, Roman was off his game, but Bo's getting better at his gimmick. The team, the babyface team, are all 92 over, at least, apart from Kenny. So hopefully we get Kenny over a bit more. That's the aim of putting him with Kota. But Roman Reigns gets the 94 off his game. Is just simply superb. A few negatives in the other team. 85 for Kofi, but as I say, it's slowly but surely pushing Kofi and getting him over. So overall, B plus 89, so no losses, no gains. Sasha Banks was slightly overused, but again, that was the point. Giving her all these big opportunities. She's pretty much an hour of the show, just to really shove her down people's throat as someone we're going to be pushing going forward. So Sasha will get praised. I think we'll praise Becky as well because of the great performances they had over the course, and if you know they were pretty much wrestling for pretty much 50 minutes on the show, so they deserve every plaudit that will come their way. Let's look at the news items then. Let's see. Don't think there's anything that directly affects us. Nope, she'll get an awesome review. That's good to see. A couple of developmental shows, but that's cool. That's fine. I think it's Guido. Little Guido's contract. That's cool. He's just a referee anyway. Take me heel. Sasha's obviously had a struggling time there. That's cool. But the Mae Young is now an above average event and a 43.73 on there. Paige likes Alexa Bliss. Velveteen Dream doesn't like Candice LeRae. Roman Reigns doesn't like her either. Oh, I wonder how Johnny Wrestling will trade that. But overall, we're always in a good position. Nia Jax actually will leave in a week, so that's fine. That's cool. That's how going to go. That's one off the roster. And yeah, we'll just keep going the way we're going. So one more to do, and that'll be the World Grand Prix. But your Mae Young Classic has been won for the second time from Sasha Banks. Hopefully she can progress a bit better than last time. So it's good. I know we should have maybe different winners each time. Maybe it should have went to Becky, but Sasha needed it at this point. And as I say, it's going to make her a 2-time Mae Young Classic winner. So as I say, that should hopefully help her maybe get to the Hall of the Immortals. But next up is the World Grand Prix. We've ran it since 2017. But John Cena won it. We've had Daniel Bryan win it. Roman Reigns, who possibly could win it this year. So I just want to quickly check. Sasha Banks. Look at that. Made her. One night, one show. Click her popularity. 66 to 85. So if people ever wonder how to get someone over, a tournament in one night is certainly a good way of doing so. So she's going to be up there. And she's 10% of becoming a Hall of Immortals inductee with her first proper win, for a year, when she won the Women's Championship last year. So she's in a good position, and she'll have that title shot against Paige. Other people just want to check Becky. Did it really help her? 70 odds, so she's probably the same, maybe dropped a little. Nah, she's pretty much the same. Actually, a few wee gains in there, so that's good for Becky Lynch. So you can certainly see where some of them have improved their overness ever since the change of product. I mean, there you go. November, December, she was right up there. Charlotte's been fantastic for us as well. And I think Dana Brooke should still be massively over. 87s, 86s, yep. So she's always been over. As I say, just someone who just gets it. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. Let us know what you thought. Who's been dominating your women's division on TEW? Have you booked any Mae Young Classics yourself? How would your brackets? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, any likes, shares, etc., retweets are deeply appreciated. You can catch me on all social media at 21Maxwell as well. And yeah, if you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, there'll be a subscribe button popping up on the screen. There'll also be a little playlist for all previous videos in this series. If you just click on my name, it'll take you to my channel, and you'll have various other playlists, the likes of the TNA series and the WWE one, as well as we televise the Evolution. But cheers for watching, guys. Much appreciated. Hopefully I'll see you next time. For our version of King of the Ring, it is, of course, the World Grand Prix. Take it easy. Bye-bye.